Hey, what's going on, everybody? You're watching Too Long Didn't Read Filmmaker, where the answers comes first, the reasons come last, but we're constantly and always still learning. It's been a while since we've done a little camera announcement video. It's a little unscripted. I'm probably going to look at my notes, maybe, but Panasonic has announced that they are developing and hopefully releasing in 2021 the GH6. Now, they have released a GH5 Mark II, and this GH5 Mark II is a good camera, and it poses a lot of questions that I have to think about. If I actually talk about this camera, it's going to be linked right up there because I'm actually more excited about the GH6. Now, Panasonic didn't give us a whole lot. They sprinkled a couple breadcrumbs here, and there's two crumbs that I want to pick up and kind of dissect to see, could Panasonic finally get it right? Or at least create a Micro Four Thirds system that's going to make people second guess if they even need a full frame at all. So, first breadcrumb, $2,500, according to their news press release, is the target price that they're trying to aim at. This throws a whole bunch of red flags to me because the GH4 was $1,600, the GH5 was $2,000. So what in the world is Panasonic going to do to warrant it to be $2,500? We'll find out, because the second crumb that I want to dissect is new sensor, new engine. And based on the little things that they've thrown out, it seems like this sensor and this engine is going to read very quickly and process very quickly. So could that mean we finally get some sort of autofocus that can rival face detection? I don't care if they do a DFD performance autofocus system, as long as it can be as reliable as face detect. If they can do that, great. For people that want to use autofocus for whatever situation they might be in where it makes sense, they can do that. And for people who don't want to and go more traditional with manual focus, they can do that too. Panasonic, you've known this for a while now. You can't claim ignorance. That's literally all we've wanted. If you added autofocus, most people probably won't ever be looking at Sony or Canon, because Panasonic, we love you guys. You give the best features, great image quality. It is truly a filmmaker's tool. Give us autofocus. Number two, could this new sensor and this new engine be hinting at the fact that we might actually see full V-Log 14 plus stops instead of V-Log L, which kind of goes around 11 plus to 12 plus stops? If this actually happens, this is amazing, because now Micro Four Thirds will really compete up against those larger sensor cameras in finally getting more dynamic range. So that would be awesome. The last thing that I could see is the new sensor, new engine. Could that mean we have better ISO performance in low light? Could we get dual gain ISO potentially? I don't know. This could be great. And subsequently, one more thing. We might also get possibly ProRes RAW out of the HDMI, hopefully so. And also, if they work with Blackmagic again, we might actually get Blackmagic RAW through Blackmagic's own recorders. Those are the things that I think could be happening based on these two breadcrumbs. And if you're listening to what I'm trying to throw here, essentially I'm wondering, are they trying to make a baby Micro Four Thirds version of the Panasonic S1H? If it actually has that tilt and flip out screen, even better. I would be very excited if this is exactly what they're going to do. And the GH6 is kind of like their last little hoorah, because I think they're really trying to develop their S lineup more so than the GH. So this might be it. The one camera to rule them all in the Micro Four Thirds system. And if they do that with all the things that I just talked about, the dynamic range, V-Log, autofocus hopefully, and all this other stuff, this would just be a dream camera for any creator to have. Now, I know I've switched to the Sony a7S III, and that's because the full frame is nice for sure. I have a bunch of full frame lenses. The autofocus was definitely a big thing for me because of the hybrid nature of what I need to do. But that's not the only reason. If Panasonic does this, there's a good chance I will actually just go back to Micro Four Thirds, because I have a bunch of Micro Four Thirds native lenses, and I have, my speed boosted lenses, what have you, but that might become my workhorse camera, and I might end up selling my a7S III and just go for like an a7 IV or something, or just keep my a7 III for full frame stuff. The reason is because I love I actually love the 2x depth of field. I love the deeper depth of field. It's just enough for narrative films where you're not operating on such razor thin margins. You can actually get everything in focus. And if the autofocus works, then great. For dialogue scenes, I don't have to think about pulling focus. But anyways, I actually do like the Micro Four Thirds sensor a lot. So time will tell whether or not Panasonic is going to make the definitive GH6 camera. And if they do, I guess we'll see if I truly go back, because I kind of like it. The IBIS, oh gosh, the IBIS of the GH5 is way better than the A7S III. That is like the one thing that the full frames can't really quite do in the Sony cam. Anyways, I'm ranting here. What are your thoughts? What do you think? Do you think what I'm stating is actually going to happen based on price point and this whole new sensor, new engine? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.